So in this video, I'll be talking about why I bought the PNY 2.5-inch Sata 3 internal solid-state drive, model CS1311. And the reason why I bought this was because my laptop was slowing down. It was using a Western Digital hard disk drive. And the idea behind buying the SSD was that it would really speed up my laptop, kind of refresh my laptop so I didn't have to buy a totally new laptop. I needed the refresh because my laptop wasn't really running efficiently for heavy-duty programs, like for picture editing, like GIMP and Photoshop, for video editing, like Adobe Premiere Pro or Adobe After Effects. And I imagine that gamers or those who run video games or resource-intensive programs on their computers would also benefit from using an SSD. And the reason why an SSD is better than a hard disk drive is because hard disk drives, which is like the default storage device for many computers, is a major bottleneck on performance. They're a lot slower. And when I switched to an SSD, I noticed that the boot time was at least cut in half, and the lag that I experienced with the regular suite of programs that I used practically disappeared. I'll go ahead and show you the CrystalDiskMark speed results that I had with the PNY SSD that I bought, compared to the old Western Digital hard disk drive that I used to use. You can see over here that I've tested the hard drive that I currently have, that HD drive. And so you can see that the sequential reading writing speeds, and sequential stands for like moving big large chunks of information, not small files but big files. So it can read up to 68 megabytes and write up to 68 megabytes as well. And the other piece of information you want to look at is the 4K. This means the really small 4K files, and it really has horrible reading and writing for that, up to 0.349 for reading and 0.906 for writing. I suppose since the file is very small, it wouldn't be that observable, but if you move a bunch of small files at a time, this will significantly slow down your computer. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you the speed of the SSD once I've installed it on the computer. So after I install the SSD, you can see that my reading and writing speed has vastly improved from my hard drive. So for this solid state drive, the sequential reading is 564.9 megabytes, and for writing is 534.7 megabytes. And the 4K, meaning the small files, those small 4K files, the reading and writing is a little better, 27.14 and for reading, and 53.67 for writing. Compare that to the previous hard drive. The hard drive used to be like, it was 10 times slower than this SSD, as you can see. And actually the 4K is vastly improved if I look at it. Like, this is like 27 times better than, more than 27 times better than the hard drive. It's ridiculous. So that means if I open something like my IntelliJ IDEA over here, which is a very big programming IDE, and I use it for Java programming, usually it takes me up to 1-2 minutes for it to load, but with this SSD it loads within 20 seconds, as you can see. And so if you use any intensive programs that require a lot of hard drive space, I would recommend you get yourself an SSD so that the time it takes for it to load is vastly improved. And so if you use stuff like Adobe Software Suite or any Adobe programs, I'd recommend you get this SSD. And you can, if you're interested in this SSD, I've put a link in the description below, an Amazon link. You can read the reviews and decide for yourself. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. Bye.